Tonight, we journey back in time, to the banks of a lonely river named Jabbok. Imagine the scene. The sun has bled from the sky, leaving only the cool silver light of the moon to dance on the water's surface. A man stands there, completely alone. This is Jacob. He, as a man caught in the space between who he was and who he is meant to become. Behind him lies a lifetime of shadows, a past built on clever tricks and running away. Before him, across this very river, waits Esau, the brother he deceived 20 years ago, now marching toward him with 400 men. Is it for a reunion or for revenge? Jacob doesn't know. And in this moment of profound isolation, the air is thick with anticipation and dread. As Jacob kneels by the water's edge, you can see the weight of 2 decades etched onto his face. The moonlight reveals a man haunted by his own choices. He remembers the stolen blessing, the moment he disguised himself to deceive his blind father, Isaac. He remembers the raw, agonizing cry of his brother Esau, a sound that has echoed in his conscience ever since. He remembers fleeing his home, leaving behind everything he knew, driven by the very real fear that his brother would take his life. For 20 years, he has lived as an exile, building a new life, a new family, but always with the ghost of his betrayal lingering in the background. The prosperity he found, the wives and children he now loves, all of it feels fragile, built on a foundation of deceit. Now, the past is no longer a distant memory. It's a physical presence, just a day's journey away. The fear he has carried for so long is about to be confronted. And then, in the suffocating silence of the night, he is no longer alone. A figure emerges from the darkness, a man. We are not told who he is, where he came from, or why he is here. There are no introductions, no explanations. There is only a sudden, raw, and desperate struggle. They lock together, a whirlwind of muscle, and will by the riverbank. This is not a battle for sport. It's a fight for something far deeper. It's Jacob wrestling, not just with this mysterious stranger, but with his own soul. Every grab, every push, every strained breath is a confrontation with his guilt, his fear, and his identity. Who is Jacob, really? Is he the trickster, the supplanter, the man who takes what isn't his? Or is there something more? This fight, under the silent watch of the stars, will decide. The struggle rages through the night. The moon traces its slow arc across the sky, and still, they are locked in combat. This is a testament to Jacob's sheer endurance. He is not a young man anymore. He has been worn down by years of hard labor under his uncle Laban, and now by the emotional turmoil of his return. Yet, he refuses to let go. There's a stubbornness in him, a tenacity that has defined his entire life. It's the same quality that allowed him to bargain for his birthright, to outwit Laban, to survive as an outsider. But here, for the first time, his stubbornness isn't being used for personal gain. It's being used to hold on to something divine, something transcendent. He senses that this is no ordinary man, and this is no ordinary fight. His very destiny is being forged in this struggle. As the first hint of dawn begins to soften the eastern sky, the stranger speaks. "Let me go, for day is breaking." But Jacob, exhausted, bruised, and gasping for air, clings on with everything he has left. "I will not let you go unless you bless me," he demands. This is the turning point. Jacob is no longer trying to steal a blessing. He is desperately asking for one. He is finally being honest about his deep, spiritual hunger. He's acknowledging his own neediness. In that moment of raw vulnerability, he isn't the cunning Jacob anymore. He is a broken man, holding on to God and refusing to be defined by his past. He understands that this encounter is his one chance for true transformation, and he will not let it slip away. The stranger then asks a simple but profound question. "What is your name?" It's a question that cuts to the very core of Jacob's identity. To say his name is to confess his entire history. "Jacob," he answers. The name means supplanter, deceiver, he who grabs the heel. By speaking his name, Jacob is owning his past. He is admitting who he has been. It's a moment of complete and total surrender. He isn't hiding behind a disguise or a clever plan. He is just Jacob, flawed and broken. before this divine being, and it's in this honest confession that the door to a new beginning is opened. He has to acknowledge the old self before he can receive a new one. And then comes the blessing, the very thing Jacob has been wrestling for all night, and in many ways, all his life. The man declares, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Israel, a new name, a new identity. It means he who struggles with God. His very weakness, his struggle, has been turned into his greatest strength in his new name. He didn't win the fight through brute force. He won by clinging on, by refusing to let go until he received what his soul desperately needed. The stranger then touches Jacob's hip, leaving him with a permanent limp. This limp would be a lifelong reminder. It would remind him that his strength came not from himself, but from his dependence on God. He would walk differently for the rest of his life, a physical sign of his spiritual transformation. As the sun finally rises over the horizon, Jacob looks at the face of the one he wrestled with and says, "I have seen God face to face, and my life has been spared." He names the place Peniel, which means face of God. The night of terror has become a dawn of revelation. The wrestling match was not about winning or losing. It was about seeing. Jacob saw God, and in doing so, he finally saw himself clearly. The fear of meeting Esau, which had driven him to this point of crisis, now seems secondary. He has faced something far more intimidating than his brother's army. He has faced the living God and survived. He is no longer the man who ran away 20 years ago. He is Israel, a man who has struggled with God and been blessed, limping, changed, and with the new name, Jacob now Israel crosses the river Jabbok. The man who had sent his family ahead, out of fear, now walks ahead of them. He leads the way, leaning on his staff, his limp, a visible symbol of his humility and his new strength. He is no longer relying on his own cunning. He is moving forward in faith. And when he finally sees Esau running toward him, he doesn't prepare for a fight. He bows down 7 times, an act of profound humility. The wrestler has become a worshiper, and the reunion he dreaded becomes one of grace. Esau runs, embraces him, and they both weep. 20 years of bitterness and fear are washed away in a moment of forgiveness. Jacob's encounter with God had prepared him for his encounter with his brother. Jacob's story at the Jabbok is our story. We all have our own nights of wrestling. We wrestle with our pasts, with our mistakes, with our fears about the future. We wrestle with questions of who we are and who we are meant to be. Like Jacob, we often try to handle things with our own cleverness and strength, only to find ourselves alone and afraid in the dark. But it's in those moments of struggle, when we finally let go of our own efforts and cling to God, that we find our true identity and our deepest blessings. The struggles are not meant to break us. They are meant to remake us. They might leave us with a limp, a reminder of our weakness. But it's a weakness that allows God's strength to be perfected in us. Your greatest struggles can lead to your greatest transformations, so don't be afraid of the wrestling. It may be the very place where you receive your new name. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it today. Have you ever felt truly alone, with nothing but your thoughts for company? Imagine a man named Jacob, a fugitive running from his own family, his own past. He finds himself in a vast, empty wilderness as night begins to fall. The sun bleeds across the horizon, painting the desert in shades of orange and purple. There are no inns, no friendly faces, just the cold, hard ground and a sky full of indifferent stars. Forced to make camp, Jacob searches for something, anything, to rest his head on. He finds a smooth, cold stone. Not much of a comfort, is it? He places it on the ground, lies down, and pulls his cloak tight against the chilling night air. His pillow is a rock. His roof is the endless star-dusted canopy of the heavens. He closes his eyes, a solitary figure in an immense landscape, not knowing what the night or the future holds. Loneliness is a heavy blanket, and for Jacob, it's all he has. As darkness deepens, the desert grows silent. The chirping of insects fades. The wind whispers to a hush. It's a silence that's almost alive, a stillness that you can feel in your bones. The stars overhead begin to glow with an unusual intensity, shimmering and pulsating as if they're leaning closer to the earth. It feels like the world is holding its breath. In this profound quiet, in this remote and desolate place, something is about to change. The ordinary boundaries of the world begin to blur. It's as if the veil between our world and another, unseen realm is growing thin, almost transparent. And there, in the middle of nowhere, with his head on a stone, Jacob falls into a deep sleep. But this isn't an ordinary rest. It's a journey into the divine. He begins to dream, and in his dream, he sees a magnificent staircase, a ladder reaching from the very ground he's lying on, all the way up, piercing the darkness and touching the heavens. It's a breathtaking sight, a bridge between Earth and the cosmos. And on this stairway, there are angels, glorious beings of light, ascending and descending. They move with purpose and grace, traveling between the mortal world and the divine presence. It's a constant, bustling flow of heavenly traffic, a celestial highway connecting to different dimensions. Jacob, the lonely fugitive, is suddenly at the epicenter of cosmic activity. He's witnessing the unseen, the secret workings of the universe, the constant communication between heaven and earth. At the very top of this incredible ladder, standing above it all, is a figure of immense light and authority. It is the Lord God himself, and he speaks, not with thunder, but with a voice that resonates in Jacob's very soul. He identifies himself as the God of his forefathers, Abraham and Isaac. This isn't just any deity. This is the God of his family, the God of his heritage, the God he had been running from. The Lord makes a promise to Jacob, a covenant right there in the wilderness. He promises him the very land he is lying on, a vast territory for his descendants. He tells Jacob that his offspring will be as numerous as the dust of the earth, spreading out in all directions to the west and the east, to the north and the south. Through him and his seed, all the families of the earth will be blessed. It's a staggering promise, given to a man who, just moments before, had nothing to his name but a stone pillow. But the promise is not just about land and legacy. It becomes deeply personal. The Lord says, "Behold, I am with you." Imagine hearing those words in your moment of greatest despair. "I will keep you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you." This isn't just a promise of future glory. It's a promise of present companionship. God assures Jacob that he is not alone and never will be. He is protected, guided, and cherished. Jacob awakes with a start. The dream is gone, but the feeling, the overwhelming presence, remains. The desert is just a desert again. The stars are just stars, but everything has changed. He sits up, his heart pounding. The first words he utters are full of awe and wonder. "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." It's a moment of profound realization. He thought he was in a desolate, God-forsaken wasteland, but he was wrong. He was in a sacred space, a place where heaven and earth met. He is filled with a sense of reverent fear. This isn't the terror of a fugitive. It's the awe of a mortal who has just glimpsed the divine. "How awesome is this place!" he exclaims. "This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." The ground he slept on, the very air he breathes, has been consecrated by a divine encounter. The ordinary has become extraordinary. He understands now that God isn't confined to temples or holy cities. He can be found anywhere, even in the loneliest places, if we are open to him. Early the next morning, as the first light of dawn touches the desert, Jacob takes the stone he used for a pillow and stands it up as a pillar, a monument to what happened there. He pours oil over it, an act of dedication, setting this place apart as holy. He renames the spot. It was called Luz, but he calls it Bethel, which means house of God. The simple, functional stone is now a sacred altar, a permanent reminder of the night his life was forever altered. Jacob then makes a vow, a response to God's unconditional promise. He says, "If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God, It's his pledge of allegiance, his commitment to follow the God who found him when he was lost. And he promises that the stone pillar will be God's house, and of all that God gives him, he will give a tenth back. It's a new beginning, a covenant sealed not in a grand temple, but in the wilderness, with a stone for an altar. This story of Jacob's ladder is more than just an ancient tale. It's a powerful message for all of us. How many times have we felt like Jacob, alone in our own wilderness, with nothing but a hard place to rest our heads? We might be facing financial struggles, relationship problems, career uncertainty, or a crisis of faith. In those moments, it's easy to feel abandoned, to believe that we are truly on our own. But Jacob's experience teaches us that our stone pillow moments, our times of greatest hardship, are often the very places where God chooses to meet us. It is when we are stripped of our own strength and resources that we are most open to the divine. The veil between worlds can grow thin, not just in a desert, but in a hospital room, a quiet bedroom, or during a lonely walk. God is not distant. He is right here, waiting for us to recognize his presence. The ladder is a beautiful symbol of hope. It tells us that there is always a connection between our earthly struggles and heavenly help. We are never truly cut off. Angels, messengers of God's love and support, are constantly at work in our lives, even when we don't see them. The story encourages us to look for the Bethels in our own lives, the places and moments where we feel God's presence most keenly. Maybe it was a kind word from a stranger, an unexpected solution to a problem, or a sudden feeling of peace in the midst of chaos. Just like Jacob, we are invited to respond to these encounters. We can set up our own pillars, our own reminders of God's faithfulness. This could be through journaling, prayer, or simply sharing our story with someone else. And we can make our own vows, committing to trust and follow the God who promises to be with us, to guide us, and to never leave us until his purpose for us is fulfilled. So the next time you feel you're in a desolate place, remember Jacob. Look up, you might just see the gate of heaven. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the deep connections between ancient wisdom and our modern lives. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Where have you found your Bethel? Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're re-delving into one of the most profound and mysterious visions in ancient scripture, the story of Jacob's ladder. This isn't just an old tale. It's a powerful symbol that has resonated through millennia, speaking of the connection between the divine and the human, the celestial and the terrestrial. It's a story about a moment of profound revelation given to a man on the run, a fugitive sleeping on a stone pillow in the middle of nowhere. What did he see? Why does it still capture our imagination today? Let's journey back to that dusty, lonely place and uncover the timeless truths hidden within Jacob's dream. Imagine Jacob, fleeing from his brother Esau's wrath. He's alone, exhausted, and uncertain about his future. He finds a spot to rest for the night, taking a stone for a pillow, and falls into a deep sleep. But this is no ordinary sleep. It's a gateway to the divine. As his physical eyes close, his spiritual eyes are opened. He's no longer just in a desolate field. He is at the very nexus of heaven and earth. Suddenly, a brilliant celestial light pierces the darkness of his slumber. It's not the gentle light of the moon or stars, but a radiant, otherworldly glow that seems to emanate from another dimension entirely. And there it is. Behold, a ladder set upon the earth, a structure of pure, golden light, impossibly vast, rising from the very ground he lies on. Its base is firm, planted in the dust and rock of the human world, but its top disappears into the heavens, reaching beyond the stars, into the very dwelling place of God. The sight is overwhelming, a breathtaking spectacle of divine architecture. The scale is cosmic, a bridge not between 2 points on a map, but between two entirely different realms of existence. This isn't just a ladder, it's a declaration that the chasm between humanity and the divine is not impassable. As Jacob watches, spellbound, the vision deepens. The ladder is not static. It's a highway of celestial traffic. Beings of light, angels, messengers of God, are ascending and descending upon it. They move with purpose and grace, their forms shimmering, their faces veiled in a glory too bright for mortal eyes to fully comprehend. The ones ascending seem to carry the prayers, the hopes, the sorrows of the world up to the heavens. The ones descending bring back answers, blessings, and divine influence. It's a constant, rhythmic flow, a celestial exchange program. Heaven has touched the dust of man. The vision reveals that the spiritual world is not distant and uninvolved, but actively, intimately engaged with the affairs of earth. There is a constant dialogue, a perpetual connection that we are often too busy or too blind to see. Think about what this meant for Jacob. He was a man defined by conflict and deceit, running from his past and fearful of his future. And in this moment of utter vulnerability, he has shown that he is not alone. Far from it. He is at the center of divine activity. The universe is not a cold, empty space, but a place filled with divine messengers, where God is actively reaching down. The ladder is a symbol of hope. It tells him and it tells us that no matter how far we've run, how lost we feel, or how hard our pillow of circumstances may be, there is always a connection to a higher reality, a pathway to grace. At the very top of this magnificent structure, above the angels and the starlight, Jacob perceives a presence. The Lord God stands above it all. And then, God speaks. This is the climax of the vision. It's not just a silent movie of angels. It's a personal conversation. God introduces himself as the God of Abraham and Isaac, Jacob's forefathers. This immediately grounds the experience in Jacob's own history and lineage. It's a reminder that the covenant, the promise, is still alive and is now being passed directly to him. God then makes a series of powerful promises. He promises Jacob the very land he is lying on, not just for him, but for his descendants. He declares that his offspring will be like the dust of the earth, spreading in every direction, a promise of incredible, uncountable posterity. This must have sounded impossible to a lone fugitive. But the promises don't stop there. God adds a personal assurance. Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you. This is the core message, the ultimate comfort. It's a promise of presence, protection, and fulfillment. God is not just showing Jacob a universal truth about heaven and earth. He is making a personal, unbreakable commitment to Jacob himself. When Jacob awakens, the world is transformed. The sun is rising, but the light he now sees is different. The desolate place is no longer just a field. It's sacred ground. He is filled with a sense of awe and even fear, a holy reverence. He exclaims, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." How often is that true for us? We go through our days, our routines, our struggles, unaware of the sacred dimension that coexists with our reality. Jacob's eyes have been opened. He continues, "How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." He then takes the stone he had used as a pillow, a symbol of his hardship, and sets it up as a pillar, anointing it with oil. He consecrates it, turning a common object into a memorial of the divine encounter. This act is crucial. It's about marking the moment, honoring the revelation, and making a physical testament to a spiritual experience. He names the place Bethel, which means house of God. He transforms a place of lonely desperation into a sanctuary. It's a powerful lesson for us. Our lowest points, our stone pillows, can become the very foundation of our most profound encounters with the divine. This experience changes the entire trajectory of Jacob's life. He moves forward not as a fearful fugitive, but as a man with a divine promise. He now knows he is not just wandering aimlessly. He is part of a grand, divine story. The vision of the ladder and the voice of God gave him a new identity and a new destiny. He was no longer just the supplanter who had tricked his brother. He was the bearer of the covenant, protected and guided by God himself. This encounter empowered him to face the uncertainties ahead, including his years of service to Laban and his eventual reconciliation with Esau. The symbolism of Jacob's ladder has continued to inspire people for thousands of years. It represents the eternal hope of connection. In a world that can often feel disconnected and chaotic, it's a reminder that there is a bridge between our reality and the divine one. It speaks of mediation, of a way for our human pleas to reach the heavens and for divine grace to reach down to us. For many, this ladder finds its ultimate fulfillment in a figure who fully embodies that connection between heaven and earth. It is seen as a premonition of a mediator who would one day be the definitive bridge, the one through whom humanity could be reconciled with God. So, what can we take away from this incredible story? First, that divine encounters often happen in the most unexpected places, in our moments of greatest need, when we feel most alone. Like Jacob in the wilderness, we might be on the verge of our own Bethel experience. Second, the universe is not spiritually empty. We are surrounded by a reality we often cannot see, a world of divine activity and purpose. The ladder reminds us to look beyond the surface of our circumstances. And finally, the story is about the power of a promise. God's promise to Jacob gave him the strength to endure and ultimately to thrive. It's a testament to the idea that having a sense of divine purpose and assurance can transform our lives. The story of Jacob's ladder is a timeless invitation to open our own spiritual eyes, to see the sacred in the ordinary, and to trust that even when we are lying on a stone pillow, we are at the very gate of heaven. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration today. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more content like this, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What does Jacob's ladder mean to you? I'd love to hear your perspective. Until next time, take care. Have you ever felt completely alone, lost in the wilderness of your own life? That's where we find Jacob, a man on the run, using a stone for a pillow, with nothing but the vast, empty night sky above him. He falls into a deep sleep, but this is no ordinary rest. In his dream, a magnificent ladder appears, stretching from the very earth he lies on, all the way up into the heavens. Angels, shimmering beings of pure light, are ascending and descending upon it, a constant, silent procession between two worlds. It's a breathtaking sight, a bridge connecting the mortal to the divine, a vision of something far greater than his own troubles. As Jacob watches in silent awe, the scene transforms. The top of the ladder opens into a brilliant, blinding light, a light so pure and powerful it seems to be the source of all creation. And from within this celestial radiance, a voice emerges. It's not a sound he hears with his ears, but a voice that resonates deep within his soul, a voice that commands the very air and earth. It is majestic, deep and powerful tones that echoes across the dreamscape, accompanied by the ethereal sound of a heavenly choir. The voice is both terrifying and comforting, ancient and immediate. The voice speaks, and the words are clear, cutting through the dream's surreal silence. I am the Lord, the God of your grandfather Abraham, and the God of your father Isaac. This is not just any deity. This is the God of his ancestors, the God of his family, a personal and intimate connection. The voice continues, its promise solidifying the very ground beneath him. The land on which you are lying, I will give it to you and to your descendants. Imagine that. The dusty, hard ground Jacob chose out of desperation is now promised to him, consecrated by a divine declaration. This isn't just about land, it's about a home, a future, a legacy. As the divine promise fills the air, Jacob's vision expands. The world around him dissolves, and he is suddenly floating in the cosmos, surrounded by a swirling vortex of countless stars. It's an infinite sea of light, each star a glittering promise. The voice continues, its power now weaving through the celestial tapestry. Your descendants shall be as numerous as the dust of the earth. He looks down, and the ground he just left transforms into an endless expanse of fine particles, each one representing a life, a soul, a future generation. The scale is impossible to comprehend, a legacy stretching beyond time itself. The promise grows even larger, extending beyond his own family, beyond his own people, and you will spread abroad to the west and to the east, and to the north and to the south. The vision shows him the four corners of the world, all touched by the light emanating from his future lineage. Then comes the ultimate blessing, a promise that will echo through all of human history, and in you, and in your seed. All the families of the earth shall be blessed. This single, sleeping man, a fugitive alone in the wilderness, is being told that his life will become a source of blessing for the entire world. It's a destiny so grand, it's almost too much to bear. The orchestral music swells, the celestial hum grows, mirroring the expanding scale of this eternal covenant. And then, just as suddenly as it all began, the vision starts to fade. The magnificent light at the top of the ladder begins to dim, retracting back into the heavens. The angels, one by one, vanish into the fading glow, their silent journey concluded. The awe-inspiring music recedes, the celestial hum quiets down, and the profound, resonant voice falls silent. The ladder itself becomes translucent, its form dissolving back into the fabric of the dream until it is gone completely. The vibrant supernatural colors of the vision drain away, replaced by the muted tones of the pre-dawn landscape. Jacob is left alone again. The silence that returns is even deeper than before, a stark contrast to the divine symphony he just witnessed. There is no lingering echo of the choir, no whisper of the divine voice. There is only the sound of the wind, a gentle, whispering breeze rustling through the dry grass around him. The dream is over, but everything has changed. The world is the same, yet it is entirely new. The ordinary has been touched by the extraordinary. Jacob awakens with a start. His heart is pounding, the dream still vivid in his mind. The sun is just beginning to rise, casting a pale light over the landscape. He looks around, half expecting to see the shimmering ladder still there. But there is only the vast, empty wilderness. He touches the stone under his head. It's cold, hard reality, a grounding force. He is filled with a profound sense of awe and a little bit of fear. Surely the Lord is in this place, he whispers to himself, and I did not know it. This wasn't just a dream, it was an encounter. The spot where he slept is no longer just a random patch of earth, it is now holy ground. He takes the stone he used as a pillow, the silent witness to his celestial vision, and he sets it up as a pillar, a monument to mark this sacred place. He anoints it with oil, consecrating it as a house of God, a Bethel. In that moment, Jacob makes a vow, a promise back to the God who promised him everything. He pledges his loyalty, his trust, and a tenth of all he will receive. He is no longer just a man running from his past. He is now a man walking toward a divinely promised future, carrying the weight and wonder of a blessing meant for the entire world. His journey is far from over, but he no longer walks alone. He walks with the echo of a divine promise and the memory of a ladder to heaven. Thank you for joining us on this journey into one of history's most powerful stories. If this moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of faith and legend. Let us know in the comments what this story means to you. Until next time, walk in wonder. Have you ever had a dream so real, so vivid, that when you woke up, the boundary between the sleeping world and the waking one was completely blurred? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? One moment you're lost in a fantastical landscape, and the next, your eyes snap open, your heart is pounding, and the morning light is a shock to your system. For a man named Jacob, one such night changed the entire course of his life, and in many ways, the course of history. Imagine this, Jacob is on the run. He's not a hero on a noble quest. He's a fugitive, fleeing from the fury of his brother Esau, whom he has just deceived. His future is uncertain, his past is a mess of family drama, and he's utterly alone in the wilderness. As night falls, he has nothing but the hard ground for a bed and a random stone for a pillow. Think about that for a second. This isn't a camping trip with a cozy sleeping bag. This is a man at his lowest point, with literally a rock for comfort. Exhausted, scared, and isolated, he falls into a deep sleep. And then, the dream begins. It's not a normal dream of jumbled memories or strange anxieties. Jacob sees a ladder, or perhaps a great staircase, set up on the earth, and its top reaches all the way to heaven. And on this ladder, he sees the angels of God, ascending and descending. They are moving with purpose, traveling between heaven and earth. It's a breathtaking vision of constant, dynamic connection between the divine realm and our own. This isn't a static heaven, far removed from human struggle. It's a busy hub, a celestial highway bustling with messengers. But the vision gets even more personal. Standing above it all is the Lord God himself, and he speaks directly to Jacob. He doesn't start with a lecture or a condemnation for Jacob's past actions. Instead, he introduces himself as the God of Abraham, Jacob's grandfather, and the God of Isaac, his father. He's establishing a connection, a lineage of faith. Then, God makes a series of incredible promises. He tells Jacob, "The land on which you lie, I will give to you and your descendants. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south." This is staggering. Jacob, the lonely fugitive with nothing to his name, is being promised a vast land and a countless legacy. But the promise goes even deeper. God continues, "And in you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed." This isn't just about Jacob anymore. This is a promise with global implications, a promise that will ripple through generations and touch every corner of the world. And then comes the most comforting part for a man who is terrified and alone. God says, "Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you." Think of the power in those words. I am with you. I will keep you. I will not leave you. For someone who felt completely abandoned, this was everything. It was a promise of presence, protection, and faithfulness. God wasn't just a distant deity on high. He was a personal companion for the journey ahead. And then, Jacob wakes up. The sun is rising. The dream is over, but its reality lingers, heavy in the air. He gasps for breath, his heart hammering against his ribs. The first words he speaks are not of confusion, but of stunning realization. "Surely the Lord is in this place," he whispers, "and I did not know it." This is a profound moment of awakening, both literally and spiritually. The desolate, empty wilderness he had feared is suddenly filled with a sacred presence. God wasn't just in a temple or a holy city. He was right there, in that ordinary, lonely place. This realization quickly turns to awe, a kind of holy fear. Jacob looks around, his eyes wide, and says, "How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." The ground he slept on, the very air he's breathing, has been transformed. It's a portal, a connection point between his world and the divine. The ordinary has become extraordinary. He recognizes that he has stumbled upon a place where heaven and earth meet. Jacob is so moved, so profoundly changed by this experience, that he feels compelled to act. He can't just walk away and forget it. He needs to mark this moment, to commemorate this holy encounter. So, he takes the very stone he had used for a pillow, that symbol of his hardship and desolation, and he stands it up as a pillar. He then does something deeply symbolic. He takes the oil he has with him, a precious commodity, and pours it over the stone, anointing it and setting it apart as sacred. That rough, uncomfortable stone is now transformed into an altar, a monument to a divine promise. It's a powerful metaphor, isn't it? The very thing that represented his lowest point, his discomfort and loneliness, becomes the foundation of his new relationship with God. Our greatest hardships can become the very cornerstones of our most profound spiritual breakthroughs. And Jacob gives the place a new name. He calls it Bethel, which in Hebrew means house of God. It's no longer just a spot in the wilderness, it's a sanctuary. He then makes a vow, a response to God's unconditional promises. He says, "If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my Father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God." He continues, "And this stone, which I have set up for a pillar, shall be God's house. And of all that you give me, I will give a tenth to you." Jacob's response is one of commitment. He's not bargaining with God. He's aligning himself with the promise that has already been given. He is essentially saying, "Since you have promised to be my God, I will live as your person." The story of Jacob's ladder is so much more than a fascinating dream. It's a story about finding God in the most unexpected and difficult places. It's about how our moments of greatest weakness and vulnerability are often the very moments when God's grace can break through most powerfully. Jacob went to sleep a fugitive, running from his past. He woke up a patriarch, walking toward a promised future. His journey was far from over, and many more struggles lay ahead, but everything was different now. He was no longer alone. He carried with him the unshakable promise of God's presence and protection. The vision at Bethel became the anchor for his soul, a constant reminder that no matter where he went, the God of the celestial ladder was with him. This ancient story still speaks to us today. It reminds us that we don't have to be in a special building or a perfect state of mind to encounter the sacred. God can meet us right where we are, in our loneliness, in our fear, in our uncertainty. Our own Bethel moments can happen anywhere, at any time. The key is to be awake to the possibility, to recognize that surely the Lord is in this place, even when, and especially when, we don't know it. The gateways to heaven are not just in ancient dreams. They are all around us, waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content that explores these timeless narratives. Until next time, keep your eyes open for the sacred in the ordinary. As Jacob awoke, the first light of dawn spilled across the land, painting the sky in hues of gold and rose. The hard stone that had been his pillow now felt like a sacred altar. He was no longer just a man fleeing his past. He was a man who had met his God. Standing beneath the morning sun, a profound change settled over him. This wasn't just another sunrise. It was the dawn of a new covenant, a new life. He raised his hand, not in fear or desperation, but in solemn, heartfelt promise. He spoke the words that would define the rest of his existence, a vow that echoed in the quiet air. If God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return safely to my father's household, then the Lord shall be my God. This was the turning point. The conditional if was not a bargain, but a declaration of faith. It was Jacob's way of saying, I see you, God. I acknowledge your power and your presence. Be my guide, and I will be your devoted servant. He was placing his entire future, his very identity, into the hands of the divine. He then took the stone he had slept on, a humble, unremarkable object, and set it up as a pillar. He poured oil over it, an act of consecration, transforming a simple resting place into a holy monument. He named the place Bethel, meaning house of God, for he knew with unshakable certainty that this was no ordinary ground. He said, this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house, and of all that you give me, I will give you a tenth. It was a promise of devotion, of remembrance, and of gratitude. He was no longer just passing through. He was marking this spot on the map of his soul, a place he would spiritually return to for the rest of his days. With his vow made and his spirit renewed, Jacob turned his face toward the horizon. The light of dawn was no longer just in the sky. It was in his eyes, illuminating his path forward. He began to walk, but his steps were different now. They were no longer the hurried, anxious steps of a fugitive. They were the steady, purposeful strides of a pilgrim. The wanderer had found his direction. The exile had discovered his destiny. His journey was no longer a flight from his brother's wrath, but a journey toward God's promise. The desolate wilderness had become a sanctuary, and the lonely road had become a sacred path. Every step he took was now a step of faith, a movement toward the future God had laid out for him in a dream. His exile, which began in fear and deception, was now reframed as a divine appointment. It was a necessary chapter in a much larger story, a story of transformation and redemption. And as Jacob walked on, fading into the vastness of the landscape, something remained behind at Bethel, unseen by the human eye. In the clear morning air, a faint, shimmering light began to trace the ghost of the magnificent ladder. It stood there, a silent testament to the night's revelation, the bridge between heaven and earth, between God and humanity. It was a symbol that the connection, once revealed, is never truly broken. The ladder still stands, an eternal promise that heaven is not as far as it seems. It is a constant, unseen bridge, always available for those who, like Jacob, stop, look up, and recognize that they are in the house of God. His story reminds us that our own journeys, even those that begin in darkness or fear, can become sacred pilgrimages. Our moments of desperation can become points of divine connection, and the ladders we encounter in our dreams can become the blueprints for our destinies. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the heart of ancient wisdom.
Subscribe now to watch more videos about mystery.